So in my case, it is already installed. So let me first open the studio. I'm going to open Android Studio. It is already installed. So I can simply click on that. So for the first time, it will take a little bit time, but once it is loaded and once you are able to find Android Studio in your screen, then afterwards it will not take a longer time. For the first time, it will load all the components and it will load all the modules and libraries. So it will take a little bit time. So how many of you have installed Android Studio? Actually, I have already shared the video link through which you can install Android Studio. So just tell me how many of you have already installed it. Okay, Smith has installed it, and Dwaj is also saying that he has installed Android Studio. See, again, I'm repeating, if you are not able to install Android Studio, you will have to ask me, you'll have to call me, because it is very important that you install Android Studio in your system. Because from now onwards, in each session, we are going to discuss things regarding Android Studio only, like how to create the applications, how to deploy it, everything. So if it is not installed, then you are nowhere. So make sure that if you have a laptop, then you install Android Studio in time. While installing Android Studio, as I already shared the video link, you can go through it. Simply, you can download the updated Android Studio from the web. Nowadays, I think Android 4.1 is available. In my case, it is 4.0, so I am also going to update today. So you might get Android 4.1. Just download it. It will be around 800 MB. Just download it and install it. While installing, you need to make sure that JDK is installed before you start installation of Android Studio. So in your laptop, if JDK is installed, then simply you can install Android Studio the way we are installing any other softwares. And once you install the software, then you will have to click on configure option from where you can find all the API levels. And so it is not necessary that you download all the API levels. It is up to you. If you are having good internet speed and if your system is capable, you can download all the API levels, you can download all the plugins. I don't have any problem. But make sure that if your system is not up to the mark, and if you are executing your Android Studio in 4 GB of RAM, then surely you will have to download the necessary packages so that it will not take much of the load and your system can work properly. Fine. So if it is installed and if you have already started a new application, then what you can do, you can go to this option. Where is it? Just a minute. Yeah, in tools, you can go to this SDK manager option. Once I will click on the SDK manager, you can see here. These are the various API levels that you can find. And in my case, I have installed till Android 9.0. Fine, and even Android 11 is also installed. And so you can see here I have installed most of the API levels. But again, I am saying it is not compulsory that you install all the Android versions. It is not necessary. And it is up to you. If your system is is at below configurations, and simply you can download and install any one or two versions. So mostly Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, you can do it, and once you start developing the applications in Android 4.1, then your application can run in most of the devices. So while creating the new application, I will let you know what is the meaning of each version. Because while selecting the version only, you will find the option that how many or how much percentage of users can use your application if you start building your application in this version. So for example, I'm saying that I'm going to develop my application in Android 11.0. So it is straightforward thing that nowadays if you will try to check the mobile of each user, then in most of the cases you will find that that person is having Android version below than 11. So in that case your application may not work in their mobile. So it is always necessary that you will have to keep the target audience, like my application is going to be useful for these many people. So we need to assume that mostly the people will use this kind of version, so that your application can at least it be installed in each mobile. Fine. So this is very critical thing. It is not that let's say Android 11 is there, so let's start building the applications in Android 11 only. In that case, your application may work for your mobile only, or let's say your 2 or 3 friends only. So always make sure that you start building the applications in the lower versions, so that it can be installed in all the mobiles, or we can say in most of the mobiles. Are you getting me what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if your Android Studio is ready and if you have not downloaded these plugins, then simply you can select any one plugin and you can install it, so that at least you can start your development. Meanwhile, if you get time and if you get enough internet, then you can download all the plugins. Right?
हेलो
Any
सर.
doubts so far? Yes.
सर ये जो अलग अलग वर्जन है उस सब में स्टूडियो में भी फंक्शन अलग होंगे या सब कुछ सेम होगा
Correct.
उसमें?
Yes, correct. In each version, you will find different functions. But while building the applications, we don't have any restrictions. If you are starting building the applications in Android 4.1, it doesn't mean that you will not be able to design the applications the whatever you want. It is not that.
सर तो आप एक काम
Fine.
करोगे, आप हमको IMP वर्जन जो भी है इसमें से आप वो बता दोगे हमको?
See, if you have good internet and if you have good laptop having good configuration, then I am giving advice that you download versions from Android 4.1. 4.12 you can download till Android 8.1 or 9.
Okay, sir.
And so that whenever you go for the bigger project, at least you can have a look of all the versions. You can build applications in each version and you can test it in different mobiles also. That's the only reason. But otherwise for me, Android 4.1 or Android 4.4, KitKat, Jelly Bean, it is fine for you. If you have installed only one, then also it is fine. Done?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And if you have installed your Android Studio, then initially, until and unless you will click on start new project or start new applications, you will not be able to find this kind of view. Whatever view as of now you are getting, you will not be able to find that. So that is why I'm saying that from that option, if you have not started your application, you need to click on the configure option. Once you will click on the configure option, then you will find this SDK manager. And this page you will find there, and you will have to install all the necessary things. Fine. And in SDK tools also, let me just demonstrate one or two things. Yeah, you need to install this Intel x86 emulator accelerator. This is also needed because if you want to launch your application, then in that case this HAXM installer is also needed. So you need to download this accelerator, and if you want to run your application in the emulator, I will let you know what is emulator, because you can run your application in your own mobile as well as in the emulator also. So emulator is a kind of tool in which you can install and you can run each Android application, and without installing your application in your mobile, you can run in emulator also. So if you want to go with emulator, then you need to download this package also. But again, by default, it will be installed once you will try to download this plugin. But still, if it is not working and if it is not installed, you need to make sure that this HAXM installer is also installed. Yeah, that's it. So this is how Android Studio looks like. Earlier we were implementing the applications in Eclipse, but nowadays people have started implementation in Android Studio since last 5 years or even more than that. And surely Android Studio is giving many good functionalities through which you can easily build any kind of applications. Fine. Now, today we are going to create a new project. So I will let you know how to create new application in Android Studio. And once I will create the new application, then there will be more number of options. So what is the meaning of each folder and what is the importance that we are going to discuss in today's session. And you can stop me whenever you feel that you are not getting. Don't hesitate. Simply you can stop me and you can ask or you can raise the query, because this is very crucial session. This is very important, because if you don't know what is the meaning of each folder, then surely in the upcoming sessions you are not going to get anything. So make sure that you understand it carefully, and still if you are not getting, you can stop me. Yeah, so now let's see how to create a new application. This is the normal editor, the way we are getting various menu options. Here also you can see there are many menu options: file, edit, view, navigate, code. So it's very simple. Once you will start developing the things, you will come to know what is the meaning of each option. You can see it's very simple thing. As per your need, you will be able to use various options. As of now, I'm not going in depth for this part, because it's very simple thing and it's menu only. But to create new application, you can go to the file menu, you can go to new, and you can click on the new project. So just click on the new project, and here see this is the beauty of Android Studio. You can see here, earlier when we were developing the applications in Eclipse, we were getting only blank activity. You can see here, this is the option for empty activity, and if you will select this, then it will be a empty activity. Everything whatever you want, you will have to do, you will have to place, you will have to write the code. But now you are getting many options. You can see here. See, for example, if I want navigation drawer, then for navigation drawer the activity is already prepared. You can see. Do you know what is navigation drawer? Can anyone tell me? What do you mean by navigation drawer?
सर जो लेफ्ट साइड में हम कब लोग उसको स्वाइप
Correct.
करते हैं तो
See, yes, correct. In your mobile, if you can open Gmail, then once you will open Gmail, in the left top bar, you will find three lines. Here you will find three lines, and once you will click on three lines, then left drawer will open, and you will find various options. Like there will be options for mail, there will be options for all the labels. So mostly nowadays, many applications are using this kind of design, which is known as navigation drawer. So in your application, if you want to design navigation drawer, if you want to put various options in navigation drawer, then you don't need to write the entire code for that. Simply you can select this activity and everything will be ready. You just need to rename it as per your options, as per your requirement. You will have to modify the code. So by changing the code, even you need to do the minor changes, and your application gets ready. And similarly, in your application, if you want to put setting activity, in most of the applications, we are finding the option setting. In the menu bar, you will find setting option, and once you click on setting, there will be more number of options. So that also you can do by selecting the setting activity. Scrolling activity is also there. You can see here. Tab activity is also there. Earlier, I was discussing about WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, the people are using tab activity. Like in the first tab, there will be number of contacts. In the second tab, it will show the status. In the third or last tab, it can show the history. Whatever call we have done, it will show the entire history. So if you want to implement certain tab activity, then you can simply select this activity. So likewise, you can see there are many options for full screen activity. Predefined activity is there. In your activity, if you want to go with the login page, or you can say if you want to go with the login activity, then it is also there. If you can select this, then see, you don't need to write the code for anything. If it is basic or empty activity, then you need to place two text to use, you need to place to edit text, then to make invisible password, you need to set the certain properties. Fine. Here, for example, you can see here, whenever you enter password, it gives dot only. So to do this kind of thing, or to implement this kind of requirement, you need to set the properties for that edit text. So if you don't want to do that, then simply you can select this activity, login activity, where each property is already set. You just need to use it, and as per your requirement, you need to rename all the text fields and captions of the button. Whatever you want to modify, you can do it. Similarly, bottom navigation drawer is also there. The way we are having left navigation drawer, similarly, bottom navigation activity is also there. So from bottom you will find various options, and as per your requirement you can put the items in that activity. And this is the empty activity where initially there will be nothing. Is it fine? Any doubt? So as per your requirement you can select any of the template. This is what I mean to say.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, great. So and initially what we will do, we will start with the empty activity only. In each session I will start with this only, so that for each thing we need to write something, we need to do something, so that at least you can have certain idea that if I want to place button, then this is what I need to do. If I want to place navigation drawer, then this is what I need to do. Fine. So we will initially we will never use any of the template, but later on, once you will get the enough confidence and once you will know how to create any kind of activity, then surely as per our requirement you can choose any activity. So as of now I'm going with the empty activity, then just select that empty activity and click on next. Here you need to give the name of your activity. So let's say I'm giving the name, let's say demo activity. So later on what we will do, we will create one project, and inside which we will create n number of modules, so that we, throughout the semester we will have to follow the single project only. So we will create one project and we will handle that entire project through the entire semester. So in each session I will create new module, so that all the things will be stored in one project only. So if I need to share it, I can share only one project. Every time we will not create new project. As of now, this is the demo project, so I am creating it. So in the upcoming sessions, I will create a new project. We will give the appropriate name, inside which we will create various modules. So here I have given the name of the activity, which is demo activity for me. This is the package name. By default, it always starts from com.example.something. But if you want to rename it, you can do it. So for example, if you are having form and you want these applications to be known from your form, then you can write a name of your form here. It is up to you. You can write your name also. You can write anything, but whatever you will write here, it will be considered as the package name, so that all the files and things will be created under this package only. Then you need to give the path where you want to save your application. So by default you can see this is the location for me. It is there in Android Studio projects, and this is the name of the project. And here in the first session we were discussing about Java and Kotlin. So to build Android applications, you have two languages. You can see here Java and Kotlin. So far in this semester we are going to use Java language. Later on you can explore Kotlin also. This is also a very easy language. Once you know how to build applications in Java, you can easily switch from Java to Kotlin. So it is not a big deal. Fine. So as of now, you know what is Java, and mostly we have completed the subject. So we will do the implementation in Java only throughout the entire semester. Then you can find one option which is minimum SDK. See, this is what I was trying to explain in the beginning. Once you will click here, you can see there are all the options. Whatever versions are installed, mostly you will find all the options. So how to choose it? So for example, if I am selecting Android 11, you can see here straight away Android Studio says that your app will run on less than 1% of devices. This is what I was talking earlier. Nowadays we have crores of mobile, but if you will try to find Android 11.0, then hardly you will find few devices only. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you choose this option, Android 11.0 to build your application, then once your application is ready, you can install that application in the devices where Android 11.0 is installed. So it is not advisable at all, because there will be very few devices where Android 11.0 is there. So you cannot even install the application. Then what is the meaning of implementation or creating the application? So make sure that you choose the particular version. Let me just select Android 8.1. You can see your app will run on approximately 53.5% of devices. So again, this is not good for me because hardly I can install my application in 50% only. But once I will go to the lower version, let me select Android 4.1. You can see here, your app will run on approximately 99.8% of devices. So as of now, as a beginner, this is good for me, so that whatever application I create, I can install it in any devices. Mostly 99.8% may include all the mobiles which are around us. Fine. So according to your requirement, you will have to choose the particular version. So while developing the applications, always you need to make sure that you choose the lower versions. It is not that I am updated and I'm getting updated every time. I want updated things only. So let's start implementing the applications in Android 11.0. It is also good, but in that case, your application is not going to help anyone. So always start building the applications from the lower version. So let's say I'm selecting 4.1 so that my application can be installed in approximately 99.8% of devices. And then you can simply click on the finish. Let me know if you have any doubts so far.
No
No, sir.
Okay, great. So you'll have to wait for the first time, because you can see here Gradle is getting building. I'll let you know what is Gradle and how it is doing it. So once it configures the entire project, you will have to wait. Then in the left panel you will find an Explorer window here. So for that time you will have to wait. You can see now indexing, and mostly it is loading all the resources. And there you go. You can see in the left panel, in the left side, you can find the project explorer, and by default it has shown the two files, activity underscore main.xml and main activity.java. So now your application is ready. You can start building your application. You can start putting the things whatever you want. But before starting the implementation, sorry.
एक बार फिर से बताना ना जरा, आपने कहाँ पे बताया?
हाँ सर, अभी स्क्रीन लोड नहीं हुआ है हमारे में.
अच्छा, is it so?
हाँ सर.
So as of now, what is visible for you?
डबल शिफ्ट, कंट्रोल शिफ्ट एंड वो वाला.
सर
हाँ
मेन पेज, लॉबी वाला पेज होता है ना वो.
Just a minute. Okay, I have not set the entire screen. That was the only problem. Just a minute. Let me share the entire screen so that you can find it. I think now it is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So once the entire application is loaded, you can see this kind of window where you can see by default there are two files, activity underscore main.xml and main activity.java. And here to the left side you can see the entire project explorer where there are many folders. So in this session we are going to discuss the use of each folder, like what is the meaning of each folder, that we are going to discuss today. Fine.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and here you can see in the left side you can find various options. So it is only different formats. If you select Android, then the folders will look like this. If you select project, then you can see it will look like this. So you can explore this and you will find various options. So in app folder again you will find the similar options: src, then your package, then Java folder, then resource folder. So same options we are going to get in Android also. You can see here. Once I will choose the Android, then also you can see Java folder is there, resource folder is there, layout folder is there. So ideally this is the suitable option, and it seems good also because each option is similar, but it will show the things in different way. It is not that if I will select the project, then it is having different meaning, and if I will select the Android option, then it is having different meaning. It is not that. The difference is it will show the things in different way. That's the only difference. Otherwise it is not necessary that you select Android only, or it is not necessary that you go with the project option only. It is your choice from this. Whatever you want to choose, you can. But mostly it is always advisable that you go with the Android option, so that hardly you will find 3 options, and you can simply explore your Java file. You can simply explore the resource folder. So now let's talk about each folder in detail. See, once I will select the Android option here, then you can see here there are 2 options. First option is app and second is Gradle script. If I explore app, then you can see there are many options, and if I explore this Gradle scripts, then there are again many options. So from this Gradle scripts, you will not have to worry about each options, but the second option, which is build.gradle, where the module is demo activity.app, you will have to understand this Gradle file. So now let me just tell you what is the meaning of this Gradle file. See, ultimately this Gradle file is showing the entire details of your applications, like what kind of SDK version you are using, what is the build version, and then what is the package name, minimum SDK version is needed, then what is that version. So in our case it is 16. Target SDK version, you can go to 30. So ultimately it shows the basic details of your applications. Fine. While implementing the applications, whatever API level you have chosen, based on that it will write the SDK versions and everything. But very important thing is, whenever you want to include the external libraries. See, I was saying that in Android Studio there are many inbuilt libraries which you can easily use. You don't need to even download it. But for your requirement, let's say in Android Studio, if there is nothing, in that case, for that you will have to download the external libraries. And whatever external libraries you download, you need to include those libraries. The way we are including in C language, the way we are including or importing the packages in Java. Similarly, in Android also, if your external library is there, you need to include it. And to include your external library, you need to use this file, build.gradle file. So here, this is what you can do. To include the other files, you need to write this keyword, implementation. Keyword name is implementation. And in this single quote, you will have to write the name of your library like this. See here, com.google.android.material material 1.3.0. So this is the name of the library with the version. So for example, if I want to download the case of library, then for case of library, there will be a name of the library that you need to write here. Once you will write it, and once you will synchronize it, it will be loaded in your application. As of now, I am not doing any changes, so I am not able to find the sync option here. But once I will implement anything, so for example, here if I write something, here as soon as I write something, you can find the sync now option. Fine. So I can write implementation, then as per my need, I can write the name of any library if it is there. But in that case, first you need to download the library, you need to paste your library in appropriate folder, and then you will have to implement it, or you will have to include it in the build.gradle file. So that's the only use of build.gradle file. You don't need to worry about anything, because you are not going to change any basic details. Whatever application you will try to create, whatever options you have selected while building the applications, everything will be listed here. That's the only use. But to include the libraries only in the dependencies option, we will have to write something. So for you, this is only thing which you need to understand. While using any of the external libraries, open the build.gradle file, go to the dependencies option, and implement that library. Simply write implementation, then in the single quote give the name, and after giving it, click on sync now option, so that it will be synchronized in your applications. Is it fine? Any doubt so far? Yes, any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, so as of now, I have not implemented any of the libraries, so I am just ignoring these changes. But later on, we are going to use Volley library, we are going to use Kesop library. So while installing or including the Volley library, we will see how to add the libraries in the dependencies option. So in the Gradle script, this is what you need to understand. Otherwise, the remaining options are not for you. It is for building purpose only, where we don't need to do any kind of modifications. Any doubt regarding Gradle script?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So now let's look at the remaining folders. See, there is one folder which is manifest. Once I explore this option, it shows one XML file, Android manifest.xml. Let me just open that file. See, this is the Android manifest.xml file. For any application, this file is very crucial. Android manifest.xml. You need to understand the use of this file carefully. See, all the basic details about your application will be listed out in the Android manifest.xml file. Like in our application, there could be 10 to 12 activities. Fine. We may see many applications where there are more activities. So for example, if we go and use the Gmail activity, or let's say Gmail application, then in Gmail there will be more number of sub pages. Fine, उसको हम बोलते हैं activity. So कोई भी application में कई सारे pages होते हैं. So each page will be considered as an activity. So in your application, whatever number of activities are there, all the activities must be listed in this manifest file. If you don't include the name of the activity in this file, then your application will not run. So for example, in your application, let's say you are having 10 activities, then all 10 activities must be listed here. You need to write the name of all 10 activities here, and this is how you can do it. So this is the first activity. You can see name of the activity is main activity. Here there is Java file also. So for this activity, as of now, for this application, there is only one activity, and name of that activity is main activity. Now let's say I'm having one more activity in this application. So what I will do, I will write the activity name like this. I will use the activity tag. I will give the Android name. Let's say my second activity name is second. So I can write dot second, and then I can simply close it. Like this. But as of now, it gives red. Why? Because we don't have this activity. That's why. But if we will create new activity, then this error will be resolved. So this is what I have included the new activity. Similarly, if you have one more activity, you need to copy this code again and just write the name. So instead of second, let's say now I'm having one more activity, which is third. So you can write the name of third activity also. So in your application, whatever number of activities you have, it is compulsory that you will have to add all the activities here in the Android manifest file. Is it fine? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One more thing, let's say in your application you have 10 activities, and by default any activity is getting started. So for example, you let's say you want your 10th activity to be launched when you run your application. So in that case, this tag is needed. See, in main activity, inside activity, you are able to find this option, intent filter, because this is the launcher activity for me. Whenever I will launch this application, I may have 10 to 12 activities, but it will always launch the main activity first. Why? Because inside the main activity, I have used intent filter, and this is the tag using which you can launch any activity. So for example, you don't want to launch the main activity, then what you can do, you can simply copy this code, or you can cut this code, and you can paste this code inside this one. So now whenever you will launch the application, your second activity will be loaded first. Your application will start launching from the second activity, and then as per our logic, as per our coding, it will switch from one activity to another activity. Are you getting me?
सर
Yes,
समझ
sir.
में नहीं आ रहा सर.
Again, I'm saying, see, in your application, let's say there are 10 activities. Fine.
Yes sir.
Yeah, and when I launch the when I launch the application, then it will start launching the applications from any one activity only. Then based on our switching, it can go from one activity to another activity. Are you getting me?
हाँ सर.
By default, there will be any one activity. So for example, if I launch Gmail, let's say Gmail is there in your mobile, so just click on the Gmail activity, then by default it will give the home page. So that is your main activity. And why that activity is getting loaded? Because intent filter tag is defined in that activity only. But let's say in WhatsApp also, when you open the WhatsApp, when you launch the WhatsApp, then by default it shows the chat activity. Fine. By default, mostly you will find the chat activity. But now let's say I don't want to see the chat activity when I launch the WhatsApp, but instead of this, I want status activity by default. So for status activity, whatever name is there, it could be dot status. So उसके अंदर मुझे intent filter वाला जो tag है वो define करना पड़ेगा. So that when I launch the WhatsApp, instead of showing chat option, it will show the status option first. Then as per your requirement, you can click on any tab and that activity can be displayed. Are you getting me now?
Yes sir, clear हो गया.
Yeah. So whenever you want any particular activity to be launched, it is always compulsory that you write this intent filter tag in that activity only. So here by default it was in main activity. So that is why when we will launch this application, it will show this main activity, and whatever design is there, it will give this design. But that we are going to discuss, don't worry. But as of now, you need to understand that in your application, whatever number of activities you have, all the activities must be listed out here in the Android manifest.xml file. And if you want to launch any particular or any specific activity, then you will have to write this intent filter tag in that particular activity only. Any doubt so far? See, this is very important. That is why again and again I am asking. Let me know if you are not getting, so that I can explain it again.
Clear sir.
Yeah.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Other than this, in this manifest file, you can see the option for icon also. Whenever you launch any application, you can find the icon. And each application is having specific icon. So whatever icon you want to set in your application, that also you can display here. So later on, if you want to change the icon, then by changing this code only, you can change the icon also. So for example, as of now, let's say I have created the entire application. I have already set the icon. Default icon is, let's say, this IC launcher. This is the image that you will find in this MIPMap folder. See here, it is written MIPMap/IC launcher. So here you will find this MIPMap option. You can see, and IC launcher icon is there, and you can see this is the image. So whatever image is there, it will be an icon for your application. So if you want to change it, you can download the image, you can paste that image in the MIPMap folder, and you can rename it, and that name you can simply pass here. So whatever icon is there in the MIPMap, that same icon will be displayed in the Android application. See, this is the icon as of now. So by default, IC launcher looks like this. And but instead of this, if you want your photo, if you want any specific photo, then you can do that also. So for that, again, Android manifest file is very important. You need to use this file because there is the property which is Android:icon, and you need to set your icon by modifying this code. Is it fine?
Yes.
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 Similarly, each application is having specific name also. Fine. WhatsApp is having specific name, WhatsApp, then Gmail, task scheduler. So there are many applications where specific names are there. So in my case, as of now, by default, my application name is app_name. Let's say I don't want to go with this name. I want to go with specific name. I want to give your name. So you can simply give your name. As of now, you can see here they are using @string. Very soon, when I will explain this values option, values folder, there is one option you can see here, string.xml. At that time, I will let you know what is the meaning of this. See, for Android programming, whenever you want to give specific text, whenever you want to write specific text, then there are two ways. Either you can give the hard-coded string. So what is the meaning of hard-coded string? I can simply write name of the application like this. Let's say in my application, whenever I launch the application, I want this name, hello. तो जब मैं एप्लीकेशन मेरे मोबाइल में जब इंस्टॉल करता हूँ तो वहां पे मुझे हेलो नाम की एप्लीकेशन दिखाई देगी। तो ये हो गया हार्ड कोड कि मैंने यहाँ पे जो कोड लिखा है इट इज स्पेसिफिक for this option. Now whenever I want to change the label, I need to change this text, and everywhere when I am using this text, I need to modify it everywhere. But now instead of this, what I can do, see in values folder there is one folder which is there is one file which is string.xml. Let me just open that file. See what it has done. In this string.xml file, it has created one string variable. Name of the variable is app name. Value of that app name variable is demo activity. So what does it mean? Whenever in my activity, whatever name I want to give, let's say as of now my activity name is demo activity. Fine. So whenever I want this text to be displayed, I can use this variable app underscore name. तो यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, instead of hard coded value, I can give the path. So my string is located at string folder. So I can write @string, and what is the variable? App underscore name. Similarly, let's say here I am going to create one more string variable. So I can write string name. Let me just increase the font size if I can do it. From where I can do it?
सर
Yes.
वो क्या वो इनफिल्ट्रेट वाला कौन सा था? अगर मेंशन नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा सर?
Which one?
सर वो बैक जाइए ना। हाँ, ये इंटेंट फिल्टर वाला।
इसका क्या?
अगर इसको नहीं लिखते हैं तो क्या होगा
तो
डिफॉल्ट में?
लॉन्च ही नहीं होगी. By default, if you want any specific activity to be launched, then whenever you create any application, then by default main activity is the launcher activity. तो ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि ये कोड है ही नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा. By default it will be there in the first activity only. Whatever first activity you will create, it will be there in that activity only. But later on, if you want to modify, then accordingly you can write your code in specific activity. बट अगर किसी में नहीं है तो आपकी एप्लीकेशन है वो लॉन्च ही नहीं होगी. इट विल बी क्रैश्ड.
ओके सर.
या एंड एज ऑफ नाउ
सर
यस
સર જેમ કે મેઇન એક્ટિવિટી છે એ આપણે આમાં પહેલેથી આપેલી છે. હવે એની સાથે આપણે બીજી એક્ટિવિટી કનેક્ટ કરીએ તો એ આમાં લખવાની જરૂર નહીં ને? મેઇન સાથે કનેક્ટ કરેલી છે.
No, we need to write it. That is what I am saying. In your application, let's say there are 10 activities, and from any activity you are switching from one activity to another activity. You have written the code for that also. तो पहले जब लॉन्च हुआ तो आपकी मेन एक्टिविटी लॉन्च हो गई, उसमें आपने एक बटन वहां पे पुट किया है, वो बटन के ऊपर जब मैं क्लिक करता हूँ तो वहां से थर्ड एक्टिविटी कॉल होती है. थर्ड एक्टिविटी में भी एक बटन है, वहां से क्लिक करके मैं 10th एक्टिविटी में मूव होता हूँ. तो वहां पे लिंक तो है, कनेक्शन तो है, but even though code is written for switching from one activity to another activity, you will have to list all the activities here. So ultimately you need to register all the activities here. If you have not registered your activity, then you may not be able to switch from that activity to particular activity. So it must be there in Android manifest file. Is it fine?
Okay sir.
Yeah.
Yes sir, fine.
Yeah. And in this string.xml, this is what I'm trying to explain. Let's say now I am using one more variable, let's say ABC, and I am giving the name of this ABC variable, let's say welcome to Android programming. So now what is the meaning of this variable? See, now let's say in my application there are 10 to 15 activities, and in any activity I want to display this text, welcome to Android programming. Fine. And for example, मेरी जो एप्लीकेशन है उसमें मुझे 100 टाइम्स ये जो टेक्स्ट है उसकी जरूरत है. I want to display welcome to Android programming 100 times in any particular activities. पहली एक्टिविटी है, वहां पे मैंने 5 बटन अभी रखा है, तो 5 बटन पर मैं जब क्लिक करता हूँ तो मुझे मैसेज चाहिए वेलकम टू एंड्रॉइड प्रोग्रामिंग. सिमिलरली दूसरी एक्टिविटी जो है उसमें भी मुझे 10 to 15 टाइम्स I want to display this text. So likewise in my application I am going to use this text, let's say more than 100 times. Fine. अभी मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि once I have written the code, see I am not going to use this variable, but जहाँ जहाँ मुझे वो जो टेक्स्ट है उसकी जरूरत है वहां पे मैं हार्ड कोडेड टेक्स्ट लिखता हूँ. सो फॉर एग्जांपल मुझे लेबल में चाहिए तो मैं लेबल पे यहाँ लिखता हूँ वेलकम टू. तो ये एक बार मैंने यूज किया, तो ऐसा मुझे 100 टाइम्स यूज करना है इस टेक्स्ट को, और वो जहां जहां मुझे यूज करना है वहां वहां मैंने ये टेक्स्ट को लिखा है. तो अभी मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि वंस आई हैव ऑलरेडी completed the development, my entire application is ready, and later on I thought that instead of welcome to Android programming, I simply want to give Android only. I want to write Android only. I don't want to write welcome to Android programming. Then what should I do? Are you getting my question?
सर रिपीट करो सर.
My question is, मुझे ये जो टेक्स्ट यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है वो मेरी एप्लीकेशन में कई सारी एक्टिविटीज है, उसमें मुझे 100 टाइम ये जो टेक्स्ट मैंने लिखा है उसका मुझे 100 टाइम्स यूज करना है. तो मैंने क्या किया, अभी वेलकम टू एंड्रॉइड प्रोग्रामिंग यहाँ पे लिख दिया, तो ये मेरा पहला यूज हो गया. फिर मुझे फॉर एग्जांपल कोई दूसरी एक्टिविटी फाइल है, वहाँ पे कोई बटन पर मैं क्लिक करता हूँ तो वहाँ पे भी मुझे ये डिस्प्ले करना है, तो उसकी क्लिक इवेंट में भी मैंने ये टेक्स्ट लिखा है. तो ऐसा मैंने 100 टाइम्स लिख दिया है वेलकम टू एंड्रॉइड प्रोग्रामिंग थ्रू आउट द एंटायर एप्लीकेशन. नाउ लेटर ऑन मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ वेलकम टू एंड्रॉइड प्रोग्रामिंग आई वांट टू डिस्प्ले एंड्रॉइड ओनली. तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा?
ये हार्ड
सर
लेवल
हर
पे
जगह चेंज करना पड़ेगा.
So I need to go at 100 locations and I need to change the text. Yes or no?
यस सर.
नहीं सर,
Yes, sir.
ये एंड्रॉइड लेवल पे चेंज करना पड़ेगा ना सर?
No,
अभी
Android. See,
सर
this is
सर वो कह रहे हैं कि
Abhishek, you are also right, but see, as of now, I am using the hard-coded text. I am not using any reference. This is the hard-coded stack. तो यहाँ पे मुझे वेलकम टू एंड्रॉइड प्रोग्रामिंग की जगह एंड्रॉइड चाहिए, तो मैं क्या करूँगा, इसको रिमूव कर दूंगा, एंड्रॉइड एंड प्रोग्रामिंग को भी मैं रिमूव कर दूंगा. तो ये मेरा पहला चेंज हो गया. सो लाइकवाइज आई नीड टू गो एट 100 लोकेशंस वेयर आई एम यूजिंग दिस टेक्स्ट एंड आई विल हैव टू चेंज इट. सो दिस इज रियली अ टीडियस प्रोसेस. एंड ऐसा होता है जब हम एप्लीकेशन, कोई भी एप्लीकेशन के ऊपर हम वर्क करते हैं तो ऐसा होता है. लेटर ऑन हमको लगता है कि इससे अच्छा तो ये होगा, तो उस टाइम हमें हर जगह पे जाके चेंज करना पड़ेगा, तो वो आइडियल लॉजिक नहीं है, वो आइडियल कोडिंग नहीं है. आर यू गेटिंग मी?
यस सर.
यस सर.
And that is why you will have to use this file as much as you can, string.xml file. So इसका मतलब क्या है, यहाँ पे जो टेक्स्ट आपको चाहिए उसको आप क्या करते हो, देखो मैंने यहाँ पे जो टेक्स्ट है वेलकम टू एंड्रॉइड प्रोग्रामिंग, इसको मैंने एबीसी वेरिएबल में स्टोर कर दिया. एक्चुअली नाउ इट बिकम्स बीसीए, लेट मी डू एबीसी. या सो अभी मेरा जो टेक्स्ट है वो एबीसी में स्टोर हो गया. So throughout my application, whenever I want welcome to Android programming to be displayed, I can use this variable. I can use this variable ABC. तो यहाँ पे मुझे फॉर एग्जांपल एंड्रॉइड की जगह पे वो मैसेज डिस्प्ले करना है, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं उसका पाथ दे दूंगा @ then string / and ABC. You can see here. So what does it mean? It will go in this string.xml file and it will check the variable ABC. So it will go to string.xml, variable name is ABC, and whatever text is written, it will display the text. तो मैंने जो 100 लोकेशंस पे मुझे जो ये टेक्स्ट का यूज करना है, हर जगह पे ये वेरिएबल ही होगा ABC. तो अभी मुझे बाद में लगता है कि मुझे चेंज करना है, तो आई नीड टू गो एट string.xml only. I can change the text here only. I don't need to go at 100 locations to change the text. Simply I have changed the code here, and variable is same, which we have referred everywhere. So it will be reflected everywhere at all 100 locations. Are you getting me?
Yes sir.
Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
No sir.
Fine. So it is always better that instead of doing the hard coded values, instead of giving the hard coded values, make sure that you write your text in the string.xml files. और उसमें भी जो कोई टेक्स्ट ऐसा है कि वो आपको एप्लीकेशन में बार बार यूज करना है, तो वो ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल है कि उसको आप string.xml में डिफाइन करो एंड ट्राई टू यूज द वेरिएबल ओनली इंस्टेड ऑफ पुटिंग द डायरेक्ट वैल्यूज. फाइन. कभी ऐसा नहीं करना कि जहाँ पे वैल्यू की जरूरत है तो डायरेक्ट वैल्यू दे दो. नो डाउट इन योर एप्लीकेशन आपका जो टेक्स्ट है वो 1 या 2 बार ही आपको यूज करना है, तो इन दैट केस यू कैन गो फॉर दैट. बट for the things where you need that text very often, it is always advisable that you define the text in the string.xml file. Clear the use of string.xml file?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in the Android manifest file, this is how you can give the label also. So whatever text you will give in this label, that text will be displayed as the name of your application. तो जब एप्लीकेशन इंस्टॉल होगी आपके मोबाइल में तो वहाँ पे वो नेम आपको दिखाई देगा. सिमिलरली इन योर एप्लीकेशन आइकॉन जो है वो आपको राउंडेड चाहिए, तो इसके लिए आपको मैप में वो प्लेस करना पड़ेगा और उसको आप यहाँ से गेट कर सकते हो. Then it supports RTL. Do you know what is RTL? Actually, it is right to left. RTL stands for right to left. See here. Declare that your application will be able to deal with right to left layouts. The default value is false. So it is always necessary that you set RTL as a true, because if you don't set it as a true, then you can always start putting the controls from the left side. So in that case, it will be a kind of static things. But in your application, you need to make it dynamic so that at whatever position in your screen, if you want to place any particular widget or any particular control, you can do it. So make sure that you always give RTL true. If you give false, then also you can put the controls, but in that case, it will start putting the things from the left only. And similarly, in your application, whatever theme you want to follow, that you can write here. See, again, there will be one folder which is style. You can see here in themes, the name is theme.xml. So by default, there is only one theme, there is only one style, and this style is having different colors. तो अभी आप कोई एप्लीकेशन लॉन्च करते हो तो उस पर आपको जो टाइटल बार है उसका कलर कोई डिफरेंट दिखता है, वो जो एप्लीकेशन का होम पेज है उसके बैकग्राउंड में कोई डिफरेंट कलर होगा. So that is, or that can be considered as a theme. So your application may have any theme. You can choose the default theme. You can modify these colors also from here. You can see by default here blue color is there or purple color is there, and if you want to modify it, you can simply click here and you can find any particular color. You can choose from this option also. So whatever color you will choose, that color will be reflected there. See here, now that color is changed. Similarly, if I want to go with pink, then you can see every time I am able to see the changes. And this is the hex code of color. Each color is having hexadecimal code. So for example, if I am selecting this, then this code may get changed. And so it is up to you which color you want to display, what kind of theme you want to give in your application. Accordingly, you can change the color here, or you can even create your new style also. आपकी जो एप्लीकेशन है उसमें आपको कोई नई स्टाइल डिफाइन करनी है तो you can use this code style and you can specify various colors. So that kind of theme also you can give here in the manifest only. So that's it. This is the use of Android manifest file. This is very important file for any application. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Yeah. So for your application, to register all the activities, you need to use Android manifest file. To give the icon, label, theme, etc. You need to use the Android manifest file. And one more thing, whenever your application is using internet, for example, you are developing the application in which you need internet connection. So in Android application, there are many permissions which you need to give while building the applications. So for example, I want my application to access my gallery. Similarly, I want my application to access the dialer. I want my application to share the things. I want my application to use the internet. I want my application to access the inbuilt camera. Fine. So there are many requirements where you need certain permissions. So all those permissions must be given here in the Android manifest.xml only. Fine. तो अभी आपकी जो एप्लीकेशन है उसको कोई भी इंटरनल थिंग को यूज करना है तो उसके लिए जो परमिशन देनी है वो भी आपको Android manifest.xml में ही देनी पड़ती है. तो वो कैसे देना है? Later on also I will let you know, but as of now I am just giving an idea. You can simply click on uses permission. You can see here and see these are the various permissions which you can give for your application. See, if I want to use internet, I can give android.permission.internet. See, there are many things which you can do with your applications. For Wi-Fi also you can, for battery statistics, for dialing the call also. Let me just go there. You can see, to access the camera, to call the phone. Then there are many things which you can do with your applications. Even you can read the phone numbers, you can read the logs also, you can read the contacts also, you can read the external storage also. आपको कोई ऐसी एप्लीकेशन बनानी है कि जो एप्लीकेशन है आपका इंटरनल कैमरा का भी यूज करना चाहता है, इंटरनेट भी चाहिए, फाइल स्टोरेज भी चाहिए. सो फॉर एवरीथिंग यू नीड टू गिव द परमिशंस. So for example, if I want my application to use internet, I can simply click here and I can close it. Yeah, that's it. I have given the internet permission. So now once I will launch the application, and let's say I want something to be displayed when I click on the button, and that thing I want to get from the internet. So I don't need to give any other things. If internet permission is given, then it will use the internal facility of the internet, and you will be able to access the things from the internet. Is it fine? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it for the Android manifest file. All the permissions we need to give in the manifest file, all the activities must be registered here, and basic things which you want to set for your application, that you can list out in the Android manifest file. Yeah, so that's it. I'm just closing Android manifest.xml, and then the next folder is Java, which is very crucial folder. See, inside which you can find various packages. So for that, you don't need to go for the two packages which are for testing. See, when you will build the application, then internally it is going to be tested. Like, do we have any compilation error or not? Do we have any exception or not? So you don't need to worry about the remaining two packages, but for you, this is the master package, com.example.demo activity. So beauty of Android is whenever you want to develop any activity, then designing and development both are having separate track. Fine, designing and development both are having separate track. To design the things, we are going to use this folder RES. RES के अंदर जो लेआउट वाला फोल्डर है, वहां पे हम पूरी जो एक्टिविटी है उसको डिजाइन करेंगे. मुझे बटन प्लेस करना है तो वो मैं एक्टिविटी अंडरस्कोर मेन में प्लेस करूंगा. देखो यहाँ पे as of now there is one where is this scroll bar? Yeah, there is one text view. See, this is the text view. तो अभी मुझे यहाँ से बटन प्लेस करना है, तो मैं यहाँ से बटन को ड्रैग करता हूँ, यहाँ पे ड्रॉप करता हूँ. Let's say I want which kind of button? Simple button. I'm just placing here, and you can see I'm getting the button. तो ये बटन की जो डिजाइन की वो मैंने यहाँ पे लेआउट के अंदर की. तो डिजाइनिंग इज हैंडल्ड बाय दिस सेपरेट फोल्डर and development is handled by the separate folder. So inside this Java folder, inside this specific package, if you remember, while creating the application, we have given this package name com.example.demo activity. So this is the default package. You can even modify it. तो इसके अंदर मुझे जितनी भी Java files चाहिए, once my design is ready, I want something to do. When I click on this button, I want to display hello. When I click on this button, I want to switch to the next activity. So whatever thing I want to do, that can be done in the Java file. तो यहाँ पे जो Java का फोल्डर है उसके अंदर आपका जो पहला पैकेज है com.example.demo activity, उसके अंदर by default you can see main activity.java file. Likewise, you can create more number of files as per your need. You can just right click on the package, you can go to the new, and you can select the Java class, and you can give the name. So whatever name you will give, let's say demo, or let's say second. Then you can see it has created the second Java file. So all the Java files must be placed in this Java folder. That's it. Later on we will know, and I will let you know what is the use of this onCreate method, what is this set content view, what is r.layout.activity_main. Fine. So today everything cannot be discussed. I am just giving the overview of the project explorer, like what is the meaning of Java file, what is the meaning of Java folder and the other folders. So as of now we are not going in depth for each file, but I'm just giving the execution of Project Explorer. Fine. So for Java folder, you just need to understand that all the Java files which are needed for my application must be placed inside this Java folder only. Is it fine? Any doubt?
सर
Yes.
सर हम ऐप को डिजाइन कहाँ करेंगे?
डिजाइन हम यहाँ पे रिसोर्स में करेंगे, लेआउट फोल्डर में. दिस इज व्हाट आई वाज टॉकिंग. सी इन द लेआउट फोल्डर एक्टिविटी अंडरस्कोर मेन डॉट एक्सएमएल फाइल. तो यहाँ पे मैंने एक बटन प्लेस किया तो ये मेरी डिजाइन स्टार्ट हो गई. नाउ एज पर माय रिक्वायरमेंट आई कैन चूज द लेआउट्स, आई कैन चूज एनी ऑफ द बटन्स, एनी ऑफ द विजेट्स, रेडियो ग्रुप, चेक बॉक्स, व्हाटएवर जो मुझे यहाँ पे प्लेस करना है, आई कैन डू इट. यू कैन सी हियर. सिमिलरली आई कैन गो विद रेडियो बटन्स. तो यहाँ पे ये मैंने जो किया वो अभी डिजाइन कर दी. So designing is handled by the resource folder, while coding is handled by the Java folder. Because for coding we are going to use the Java language only. So all the Java files must be listed here. उसको दोनों को कनेक्ट कैसे करना है वो मैं आपको समझाने वाला हूँ थोड़ी देर में, कि जो XML में आपने जो डिजाइन की उसको Java में कैसे कनेक्ट करना है. That we are going to discuss. Don't worry about that. ये क्लियर हो गया Java folder? It's very simple. All the Java files
Yes,
must
sir.
be listed in this folder only. Then it comes resource folder. This is very important folder. RES, resource. When you will explore this resource folder, you can see various options: drawable, layout, map, and values. So now we are going to discuss each folder in detail. What is the use of each folder, like drawable, layout, map, and values? See, drawable folder is very important whenever in your application you want certain images to be displayed, you want certain videos or images or audios, whatever you want to display in your application. Then for that, drawable folder is playing very vital role. Whatever image you want to display in your application, you need to place all the images in the drawable folder. तो अभी आपको ऐसा चाहिए कि जब आपकी एप्लीकेशन लॉन्च होती है तो बैकग्राउंड में आपको कोई इमेज दिखनी चाहिए. तो वो जो इमेज है वो आपको कहाँ पे प्लेस करनी पड़ेगी? ड्रॉएबल में. इट्स वेरी सिंपल यूज. ड्रॉएबल इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ ऑल द मीडियाज, images, audios, videos, everything must be placed inside the drawable. That's it. Any doubt about drawable?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So you can simply copy that images, whatever image you want to display in your application, you can copy it and here you can paste it. Just do right click and paste here. So that image will be pasted here and you can use it in your application. That's it. Then the second folder is layout. See, as I said, layout folder is having more number of XML files, and while building any of the Android applications for designing purpose, we are going to use the XML files. So whatever design you want to design for your application, you need to create more number of XML files in your layout folder. So by default, as of now, it is having one file which is activity_main.xml, and this is your default file. By default, there is only one text box. Just remove everything. See, by default, there is one text view. Hello world. Now one more thing, once I am clicking on this activity_main.xml, see now you need to understand this also, this layout. See here in the left panel, it says palette. In the palette window, you can find all the controls. Whatever controls are available in Android, you will be able to find all the controls here. If you will click on common, then these are the common controls, like see, this is the text view, this is button, image view, recycler view, fragment, scroll view, switch. कई सारी एप्लीकेशंस है, वहां पे आपने ऐसा ऑप्शन देखा होगा, स्विच टू मेक इट एनेबल और डिसेबल. तो आपको ऐसा चाहिए कि आपकी एप्लीकेशन में आपको ये कंट्रोल प्लेस करना है, स्विच. Either you can do coding for that or you can just drag this control. You can drag it and you can drop it here. तो यहाँ पे आपकी स्विच आ गई. स्विच के अंदर आपको कुछ लिखना है, यहाँ पे आपको ऑन ऑफ लिखना है, तो वो भी आप मॉडिफाई कर सकते हो. उसके हिसाब से आपको प्रॉपर्टीज सेट करनी पड़ेगी, कोड लिखना पड़ेगा. Similarly, if you click on text, then for text also you can see there are various options. Text view is there, plain text, password. So nowadays these are the facilities which we are getting. Earlier in our time, when we were designing the login activity, we were having only one text view which is plain text. तो उसको अंदर मुझे पासवर्ड डालना है तो उसके हिसाब से मुझे प्रॉपर्टी सेट करनी पड़ती थी. पासवर्ड के लिए जो इको केयर बनाना है उसको मुझे स्टार प्रिंट करना है या डॉट प्रिंट करना है. So accordingly I need to set the properties. But now if you select this password field, then whatever text user will write in this field, everything will be considered as password only. You don't need to write for it. You don't need to write the code for it. Fine. Even for numeric password, separate text is there. Similarly for email also. So ultimately you don't need to do the validation for all the controls. In our time we were supposed to do the validation. So if my text field is there to capture the emails, then for email I need to put the validations. But now you don't need to do it. As per your need, you can see for phone also you can use this phone text box. So in that you cannot enter the characters. So by default validations will be applied. So whatever control you want, according to your requirement, you can choose particular control from this palette window. See, there are many widgets, many layouts also, containers are also there, helpers, even Google Map is also there, and even tab, list, relative layout, grid layout. There are many options. So as per your need, you can choose any particular control from the palette window. You can simply use it. Any doubt regarding palette window?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. Now one more thing, for this window you may have two options. If you want to go for the design view only, then you can see here there is the design view. If you want to go for the code view, then this is the code for that XML file. You can see here there is one text view, there is one switch. So once I have dragged the switch and I have dropped it here in the XML file, it has written the code. It has written the entire code. Radio group is as of now not visible because we have not put the radio buttons. So as of now in the design view you can see here there is one switch, there is one text view, and code for both the controls are here. And so same file is there, but it is having different view. If you want to view the code, you can click on code here. If you want to click on design, or if you want to view design, then click here. If you want to see both, you can use split option also. You can see here it gives both coding and designing. So now for example, if I want to place one more button here, so I can place it either selecting the I can drag the controls from here and I can drop it here, or I can write the code also. Let me write the code here. So for example, if I want to place button, what I can do, I can write the tag for button, the necessary properties. As of now, let me go with few properties. You will not have an idea of what I'm doing, but I'm just giving an example. And let's say I'm using the hello text. You can see. So whatever code I have written here, accordingly in the design view, it shows the button. And if you don't want to write the code, then you can simply select the control from here. And let's say I want one more button, you can just drag it and you can drop it here. तो उसका भी कोड है यहाँ पे, आप देख सकते हो, और जो बटन वाला कोड है वो यहाँ पे दिखाई दिया. Clear? So this is how you can use this layout file. इसकी ये जो प्रॉपर्टीज है वो क्या है, कितनी प्रॉपर्टीज है, कौन सी प्रॉपर्टी का कौन सा यूज है, वो हम देखने वाले हैं. So don't worry about this part. We are going to discuss this thing in detail. For each component there are many properties, but as of now you need to understand that designing can be done in the layout folder. So inside layout folder you can create more number of XML files, and in each XML file you can do the designing. So this is my one XML file. It means this is my one activity. So whatever you are able to see here, this is your one activity. Similarly, you may have one more activity, then you can do switching from any activity to any other activities. So all the designing thing will be done inside this layout folder. Any doubt so far regarding layout?
No, sir.
See, as I am saying, don't worry about anything. Later on, I'm going to discuss various properties also, because once I will click on this hello button, then see, you can see there are many options like this. See, these are the various properties. So everything, whatever you want to do, either you can use the GUI, you can use this kind of properties, or you can write the code. मुझे यहाँ पे hello लिखा है, उसको change करना है, तो I can just change this text. I can write welcome, and it will be reflected in the button here. You can see here. Similarly, if you are not comfortable in the attributes, if you are not comfortable in the GUI view, You can always go to the code part. Instead of welcome, you can write your code. See here, I can write bye, so it will be reflected in the design part also. So I am giving advice that always try to go with the code part, so that you can have understanding of each properties in detail. Because if you will drag the components, then you will not be able to even look at the properties. I have dragged this control, so see, by default it has created many properties. These are the various properties. So it is always necessary that you write the code by your own, so that as per your requirement you can have an idea that these many properties I need to use. Otherwise, by default it will do something and you will never have an idea what it is doing. Fine. So as a beginner in the initial stage, I always I'm giving always advice that try to go with the code part. Write the code only to place any control. Never go for the designing only and just drag and drop the control. Once you feel that you are confident and now you know what are the other properties, then you can simply drag the controls from palette window. But as a beginner in the initial level, I always advise that you write the code for placing any control. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's it about layout folder. So layout will take care about designing part. Java folder will take care about coding part. Drawable will take care about the media or resources, images, videos, audios, whatever you want to place in your applications. Then comes mipmap. This folder is only used to place the icon of your application. In manifest file we were discussing about icon. You can see here. This icon is stored in mipmap folder. So mipmap folder is taking care of icon only. So whatever icon you want to display in your application, that icon you can place inside this mipmap folder. You can just copy that image, you can paste it inside this mipmap, and you can simply give the path in the manifest file. So that's it all about mipmap. And then the last folder is values, which is very important. We have already discussed, but still let me explain it again. See, in the values folder, there are two XML files for colors and strings. Color.xml, you can see here, similarly string.xml. So the only use of both the files is to make the things dynamic. As we have already discussed, instead of putting the hard-coded values, it is always advisable that you create a variable inside the string.xml file and then assign the value to those variables. तो यहाँ पे मैंने abc वेरिएबल क्रिएट किया, यहाँ पे मैंने एंड्रॉइड जो टेक्स्ट है वो abc को असाइन कर दिया. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, जहां जहां मुझे एंड्रॉइड प्रिंट करना है, आई कैन सिंपली रिफर दिस वेरिएबल, आई कैन रिफर दिस abc वेरिएबल, एंड whenever I will refer abc variable, it will display this text, so that later on in my application, if I feel that instead of Android I want to display any other text, then by changing the one value only, it can be reflected everywhere. So that is why it is always advisable that whenever you want any specific text to be displayed more number of times, always make sure that you define those values in the string.xml file. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And similarly for color also, the file is color.xml. So if you feel that you want any specific color to be accessible everywhere in your application, right? So in that case, you can define that color here, so that you every time you don't need to search out this hex code, and you don't need to even find the hex code from the internet. If you feel that I need white color everywhere and this is the hex code of white, then you can simply define that code. You can assign that code to this variable white. So everywhere, whenever you feel that you need to use white color, then simply you can use this variable, so that you can do your code easily. You don't need to remember the hex code. You don't need to find it. Once you find it, you have included in the color.xml file, then you can simply use the variables. तो आपकी एप्लीकेशन में आपको डिफरेंट कलर्स चाहिए. यस
सर, वो colors.html में और कुछ आ सकता है?
colors.xml.
नो,
in colors.xml you can place colors only, but in string.xml you can even create an array also. Later on in the list view and Dropbox, we are going to use various string arrays also. So in string.xml you have that option also. You can see here, you can create string array also, you can create normal array also. So there are many options. So similarly in color.xml also you will find various options, but for your development, for your things, see all the options are there also, but to access the array we need to go with the string.xml file only. So by default it gives general options, but for color.xml you can place colors only.
Okay.
Fine. So this is the use of values folder. Ultimately this folder is not compulsory to use, but if you use the XML files which are listed there, colors.xml and string.xml, then your task gets easy, and this is what I can say. Complexity you can avoid. Otherwise it is not compulsory that you need to use string.xml in each application. Similarly, it is not compulsory that you use color.xml in each application, but if you use it, then your task can be done easily, and it can be dynamic things also. Let me know if you have any doubt so far.
नो सर। सर ये XML क्या होता है?
No.
Yes, the XML is actually it is extensible markup language. So the way we are having HTML language, the way we are having C language, so XML file is very handy file, and there is a huge difference between XML file and any other files. Fine. So can anyone tell me what is the use of XML file? What exactly XML file is doing, and how it is getting differentiated from HTML or any other files?
कोई भी प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ कंपेटेबल होगा शायद।
Wonderful. This is what the biggest advantage of having XML files. See, XML file is a file which can be what I can say, which can be connected to any platform. So for example, if I am using Java file, and if I am doing code in Java, and let's say I'm having one XML file, then I can easily access XML file by using various techniques. I can do XML parsing. Similarly, if I'm using the .NET platform, I am having XML file. I want connection between XML file and .NET file, I can do it. Similarly, if I am having HTML and I am having XML file, if I want to do connection between both the things, I can do it. So that's why XML is a widely used language. It is convenient for all the platforms. That is the biggest advantage of having XML files in any platform. Clear?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
Yeah, any other doubt?
सर आपने ये जितने समझाए, ये जितने एक्टिविटी मिप मैप वैल्यूज, तो वो आगे चल के जैसे जैसे करोगे तो वैसा और समझाओगे ना एक और बार?
Correct. We are going to discuss everything in detail. Fine. As of now, as I said, this is the first session, so I am just trying to give the introduction, so that at least you can have confidence that this is how we can create the new application, and at least you can understand that there are these many folders, and this is the use of each folder. Otherwise, in each application, we are going to do everything. So every time I will repeat the same thing again and again. So don't worry about that.
ओके सर।
Fine, and XML is simply it is more convenient language because it is we can say it is very much compatible with the Java, and that's why Android is having combination of Java and XML. Otherwise, we can parse XML files in any other domains also, but as far as Java is concerned, it is 100% compatible. So that's why it is really easy to connect both the files, and that's why Android is using XML and Java. Fine. Any doubts? Any more doubt?
नो
सर
सर।
ये ग्रेडल में क्या था? ग्रेडल स्क्रिप्ट्स में?
Inside Gradle, you can simply include the libraries, whatever external libraries you want to use, that you can write in this dependencies option here. You can see here. Otherwise, it contains all the details about your applications, like what version you are using, what is the minimum SDK, what is the targeted SDK. So while creating the applications, whatever options you have chosen, accordingly it will display the things here. So it is none of your business, but you need to understand these only dependencies.
Okay, sir.
Any more doubts?
No, sir.
And regarding XML file, do you know one more thing? Actually, XML file is extendable. Do you know the meaning of extendable? If I say any language is extendable language, what does it mean?
सर उसका मतलब कोई भी एक्सटेंशन को आप चेंज करो तो वो फाइल रन हो सकती है ऐसा?
No, you don't need to change the extension, but ultimately you can modify the code as per your requirement. So as of now, in this XML file, what you can do, you can create your own tags also. Whatever default tags you are able to access, accordingly you can create your own tags, and you can use it as and when needed. Similarly, if someone has created the tags, then also you can use it. So that's why it is a kind of dynamic language where you can modify the tags and you can create the new tags also. It is not that all the tags which are available only you can use it. So it is for your information only, otherwise I'm not going to connect those things, but at least you should know why XML is there. Actually it is more compatible, it is extendable, that's why people are using XML.
इसका फुल फॉर्म क्या था सर XML का?
Extensible markup language. Should I write?
ना सर याद हो गया.
Okay. XML stands for extensible markup language. Yeah, so regarding this project explorer, regarding this Android Studio, if you have any doubts, then tell me.
No sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
then I am done with this part. And now in the next session, what we will do, we will create one more application, which is the new application, and we will start designing the things. So from scratch, we will see how to display the button, how to display any other controls, and what are the various properties of all those controls. So if I place one button, then for that button only, we may have n number of properties. So which properties are important and which properties we need to include, that we are going to discuss in the next session. And similarly, we will discuss how we can connect the Java file and XML file, so that when you launch the application, how it looks like. So in the next session, I will launch the first activity. We will run that application. We will install the application. So I will install that application in my mobile, and I will show you how it gives an output, how it shows. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so still we have enough time, but now I'm tired. I don't want to continue because you will also be tired, because in one go I don't want to give everything as far as Android is concerned, otherwise you will get confusion. That's why.